What is up, YouTube Live? I am Instagram living now as well. We're going to double up some content. So, ready? The Instagram is up in 1 second. All right, now we are live. We are live on Instagram and on YouTube. Let's wait for some people to tune in, and then we're going to get into some watch content. I'm drinking water. I know. What is up, YouTube and Watch Fam? On Instagram and YouTube, what is up, guys? I am Christian from Theo and Harris. It is Thursday at 7, so now every Thursday at 7 we are going to be doing live streams. No vino right now, which is a real shame because I want vino. It's a Thursday night, and what better way to spend it than with some food and vino? But yeah, I'm at someone else's house, and they don't have wine, and I don't know what that even means. Wristwatch check. Yes, I am wearing a watch that will be hitting the Theo and Harris shop on Tuesday at 7 a.m. A Tiffany Co-stamped Movado. Really, really beautiful watch. I don't own a Tiffany Co-stamped watch. I've sold 3, and I've loved every one of them. I think that they're so interesting. And this just they're so regal. You know, it's just a regal stamp. Goublin is more of like a, off the beaten path. And there are a couple, of off the beaten path kind of stamps there. The Bayer, Goublin, there are a couple of them. But for me, I'm a sucker for Tiffany. So I'm excited to get into today's episode. What do we have? What are people are saying on Instagram Live? Exercise in the background, you know it. Great to see you. Can't wait to see what you have to say. Yep, man, we're going to go to some awesome topics. What's up, Christian? Let's see what's going on with this clown car today. All right, first I want to talk about an awesome Rolex ad that I saw just the other day. I don't remember the name of it, but I'll post it on Theo and Harris. Rolex produced this video advertisement, and it was terrific. They did something that I talked about a couple of months ago. They've actually been doing this for a while. I just didn't realize it. I didn't see this ad series yet, but they released this video with James Cameron, and the whole idea was to communicate the depth and importance of a Rolex in someone's life, especially in the life of someone so damn important. People are singing in this house. I hate people so much, especially in someone who's so important, right? James Cameron. So he kind of gave his narrative that he wore this sub. I don't know the reference. Forever. This was his Submariner. He wore it. He wore it from the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Recording Titanic. He did everything with this watch, and then he was traveling. I don't know for which movie, and he was traveling, and he was somewhere in the world. Once again, I don't remember which country, and he met a tribe. And there were these really interesting tribe people that were apparently very accommodating and very generous. And the tribe leader gave him some, I don't know what he gave him, but he gave him some sort of gift that showed just the utmost respect and importance, right? So what did James Cameron give him back but the Rolex on his wrist? And I just thought that was so cool. One, it's kind of heartbreaking that James Cameron would take off this watch that really meant a ton to him and give it to somebody else. But the whole point was it was being done both ways. Both men were giving each other something that was irreplaceable, something that meant a ton to them. And I guess that's why it's meaningful. So it was a really great ad. I think that it added a lot to Rolex. I think it adds a lot to the experience of owning a watch, and whether it's true or not, whether it happens to you or not, it's a great selling point to making something more important than it is. And for some people, it is more important than an expensive watch. So I thought it was great to kind of loop it into a topic that we had a couple of months ago. There was a short film called About Time. Borrowed Time. It was a Pixar film, maybe not. I don't remember who made it. But it was amazing. It was about this father and son. I'm not going to give the whole plot away, but the point of the film, which I thought was awesome, was to show the nostalgia and the sentimentality behind watches, and how this little thing, this ticking thing, could mean so much to somebody. and I thought that it was really interesting. And I thought when I watched it, this would be funny if this was sponsored by a brand, or it was sponsored by like a super PAC for watch companies. Swatch Group and Richemont joined together and made a very expensive film, but it wasn't. I think it was a relatively independent film. It had nothing to do with watches. It was just a cool watch. But that's it. So that was an awesome it was an awesome film, guys. So let's get into some questions, and then I'll go back to another topic I want to talk about. Take your Christmas lights down. No. What is up, my man? What is up, Alex? Alex bought a killer. Tudor linen. It's a really beautiful watch. Mil Gallus or Daytona for daily wear. I don't know. I want to buy Datejust from you, but they always sell it instantly. Can you help a fellow watch fan out? Frank Sal 125. Absolutely, buddy. Our Datejusts, come and go really, really quickly. But it would be my pleasure if you shot me an email to arrange something, where I send you a photo of a watch before it's posted on Instagram or something like that. We are very accommodating for people who are just too slow to pull the trigger, or people that live in a different time zone. So 7 a.m. when they go live in New Jersey is 5 a.m., in California. I'm sorry. 5 a.m.? No, 4 a.m. So I totally respect that. So please shoot me an email at info@theoandharris.com, and I will do my best. What else we have here? What do you feel about Movado? What do I feel about Movado? As a vintage lover, as someone who is passionate about vintage watches, Movado is a gem, no doubt. If anything, I would call it undervalued, but it's not. Some are, but the vast majority of Movado, vintage watches are very expensive. We really couldn't afford. Normal people can, like a normal person, cannot afford a vintage, Movado in many respects. There are jump hours, there are chronographs. This is a top tier manufacturer, and it's and it costs or the prices reflect that. So that's great. Modern Movado, everything kind of took a big shit a while ago, and I don't think it's really recovered. But if they're profitable, then I respect them. I have a question. I'm deciding to sell or buy my 1974 Datejust to buy the IWC Pilot 36. What are your thoughts? I'm close to pull the trigger. If you are close to pull the trigger, if you want to do it, then just do it. Don't get nostalgic about it. But that's it. I wouldn't. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. It's just different people, different values. What model number is your Cartier Santos Dumont? Thank you in advance. I don't have a model number. I'm sorry. I really don't. I should do that though. I'll post it when I find it. Christian, are you going to Baselworld? No, I'm not going to Baselworld. For those of you who don't know, Baselworld is a fair in Switzerland where many brands release their new releases. Rolex is the most famous or greatly anticipated release. We don't know what they're going to release. People are speculating some crazy shit. I don't know if you guys have heard. A date 8 with annual calendar function. I don't think it's going to happen. Rolex is way too conservative to do that. And I don't blame them. I think it would be unnecessary. So there are a couple things that are being kind of projected, though. Hi, Kristen. What do you think of British pieces? For example, Smith's. Would love to see you do a video. Smith's, great watches. The mil-spec watches. I don't know much about them, but I've seen some great stuff come across my desk with the Smith name on it. Teenage content on fire. Yep, we're doing Instagram and YouTube at the same time, so we are doubling up on content reach. Will you be selling Cartier at some point? Yes, but they're very, very hard to come by in desirable condition. So we are definitely not. We're definitely not going to skimp out and go for shitty quality. Is this also on YouTube? Yes, this is also on YouTube. So everyone on YouTube is now on Instagram. Let's talk about FP Journe, and they do servicing. Well, they don't do servicing now. FP Journe does certified pre-owned now, and I think that's a great idea. I think it's so interesting that they're doing that. So why? Well, what are they doing? FP Journe is now offering their watches CPO. So you can buy a chronometric blue, or you can buy a chronometric blue that's been used. Either way, it's guaranteed by Journe and all that. And that's that's great, and I respect that they're doing that. Well, I think that it's smart. As a consumer, I wouldn't necessarily buy straight from Journe, but to me, the importance there is FP Journe is obviously going to charge a premium over a pre-owned FP Journe, but they're setting a standard for certified pre-owned FP Journes. They're controlling the secondhand market essentially, right? So how do I put this? Now there's a direct implication that if you buy a used FP Journe, not from FP Journe, that it does not live up to the standards of a certified FP Journe. So that's a very interesting dynamic. So right now there's brand new, which you play retail or close to it, or you buy used. Of course, those are the obvious two options. And then once it's once you know you're not buying new, Journe can't get your money because you're gonna go used, you're gonna go on Instagram, you're gonna go on Chrono24 or wherever. And then it's all the same. It's all the same. But if you're going through Journe directly, you kind of have this, air about the purchase that this is the best of pre-owned FP Journe, which, is probably ridiculous. I'm sure that there are plenty of great, pre-owned FP Journes out there. But the mere existence of this CPO program, which is going to come at a premium, is going to, I think, set a much higher price for these markets watches secondhand. I'm interested as to why brands haven't done this before. I think it would be because they just don't want people opting out. They don't want people going cheap. Rolex couldn't do it. I think that Rolex would lose a lot of money if they offered a CPO program, because many people are going to say, yeah, sure, fuck it, let's just buy CPO. Let's not even buy regular Rolexes. Why do that? Let's just pay a discount and move on. But this is an interesting moment. This is a really interesting moment. So I can't wait to see not only how it works out for them, but if other brands follow suit, because I don't know, it's interesting. FP Journe's an interesting guy. Genius watchmaker, pretty fucking damn good businessman. Now, not only doing things better than other people, but kind of reinventing, how certified pre-owned horology watches are sold. Interesting, really interesting stuff. Let's go back to a couple other questions. Which watch would you recommend for a 15-year-old that is into dress watches? Depends what your budget is, buddy. Anything from a Timex. If you want to go to 50, 60 bucks, there are some great, quartz Timexes that get that whole, style. But if you're not going for style, you're going for a little bit more of a full picture. I think that Longines represent some incredible value. Vintage Longines. My favorite is Omega, but vintage Longines represent like top. I mean, I don't know. Longines as a top contender for my favorite. So they're both very good. But I think those are two brands that you can get for under $1,000 that would make you very, very happy. And if not, then look at other brands. I mean, I can find Waltham is a brand as well for $300 or so. So yeah, it's great. Reverso quartz, yes or no? Was a question I was just asked. Interesting. Reverso quartz, yes. If you want a Reverso and Reverso quartz is yes in this circumstance. Friend comes to me, friend likes dress watches. Friend has a limited budget. Friend says, okay, I'm considering getting a dress watch because I feel like I want to, have that style, but I know that's like pulling teeth. I know it's pulling teeth from him. I want the Reverso, but I don't want to spend, the full amount. I can save $600, and quite frankly, I want to. I say, yeah, go for it, buddy. Because if the movement isn't very important to you, save the money. Don't force yourself into something and the extra money if it doesn't mean anything to you. I would buy a quartz Royal Oak. I'd buy a 36 millimeter quartz Royal Oak tomorrow. No doubt. No doubt. This is awful. It just feels like I'm sucking. I don't know. I mean, like the brain. It's weird. It's a weird thing. Your take on Breitling Navitimer, modern or vintage? Very different. I think that modern Breitling now has become is so far from what it was intended to be that it really bothers me. And I like Breitling. I really do. I like some modern Breitling watches, no doubt. But when I see a chronomat with diamonds, and when I see just like a two-tone, just fucking like gaudy, shiny, polished bracelet, I shake my head. And I'm like, Breitling was two things. One, very refined in most circumstances, and then when not, super sporty to a watch. It's one of the two things, and these watches don't fall in either, on either court. I like the Super Ocean Heritage. I think it's a very cool watch. I like the bracelet quite a bit, but that's, there are some other models that I enjoy, but there's a big problem, I think, with how Breitling is perceived, and rightfully so. It's become a bling watch, and that's really fucking sad. What do you think is the best Rolex watch to use for casual wear? Jeans and shirt mode all the time. Value, I think that Rolex Explorer 2, I like the polar dial, the white. I think it's great. You can get them for a lot less than a GMT. I think they're very, very pretty. check those out. Do you think that Journe is truthful with 900 pieces per year? I don't know. I really have no opinion. The question was, do I think if FP Journe, when they say that they only produce 900 pieces a year, are they being truthful? I never even heard that, to be honest. So I don't know. If that's what they say, then I don't know. Not much vintage watch shops here in Hawaii, so that's kind of a bummer for me. We actually shipped out an amazing vintage date just this week to Hawaii. So it was awesome. It was the two-tone 1601 with that orange coloration to the bezel and to the bracelet. What happened there was the yellow gold, from a lack of exposure to oxygen, turned to this orange, I don't want to say brown, but like a reddish orange color. And it was awesome. Free lunch at Engrain tomorrow if you mention Theo and Harris. I might come in and mention Theo and Harris. Everybody, Engrain, not YouTube, sorry, only Instagram people. Engrain is commenting. Engrain is it's like a better Panera. Much better Panera locally in Cranford, Garwood or Westfield, New Jersey, and they do really good stuff, salads and sandwiches. And my buddy John owns it, and although John is a degenerate, I really like this place. So respect. Can't wait to pick up my Big Rose. I can't wait to give it to you. You're gonna absolutely love it. Watch Me Now bought a Tudor Big Rose from us, and it's primo stuff. I love it. What's your take on the Jean Richard? I have never actually looked at the Jean Richard Terrascope. I've never looked at it, so I can't give you an answer as to my thoughts. I am sorry. People, if you guys have any opinions, you send it to me. LOL, Farlius. Nice Christmas lights. Shut up, Farlius. What's wrong with Christmas lights? Why is everyone hating on the Christmas lights? Back to watches. Not much. Totally agree. Some of the heritage watches in small size are much better. Yay for vintage Hamilton. Yeah, vintage Hamilton does represent great value for a dress, for dress watches. Thoughts on the Rolex Doctor's watch? Dead seconds. Rolex Doctor's watch. Do you mean the True Beat? If you mean the True Beat, I think it's an amazing watch. Not only is it rare, but it doesn't get the attention it deserves, but they're very difficult to service because of their little mechanism that allows for that. I've heard, not that I would know, but I've heard some disasters that went along with that. So you want to see, I'm going to show you guys what's going to hit the shop next Tuesday. If anyone wants to see any of those watches, let me know because they're right here, and I will show them. In the meantime, what do you think? Hoyer Carrera dropped it. Come on, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, it's good to see that they've gone into a very different direction, but come on, come on. It's you know what I love about Aston Martin. I love, and I don't know much about cars or Aston Martin, but what I love about Aston Martin is that the cars that made Aston Martin famous, right? Like there was the DB9, right, from James Bond. Is that a 5? DB something, okay, from James Bond. That is probably one of the most famous cars ever, right? It's iconic, it's recognizable, it's the big thing. But if you look at an Aston Martin right now, no matter how souped up or whatever package you get, you can see the lineage completely. Is it a different car? Yes, but the lineage is clear. Same thing with Porsche. So I hate to see Hoyer just make a chronograph and call it a Carrera. The chronograph has nothing to do with the Carrera. Why not? Why not just make a different watch? Why this isn't a Carrera anymore? And that kind of bothers me. But who wants to see watches? Want to see them? All right. How about a Longines ultrasonic? Anyone into batteries? I am. I think that this is beautiful. I'll show it to Instagram first. Jeez. To me, why I originally kind of bought this watch was for 2 reasons, and I'll show it to YouTube. I bought this watch for 2 reasons. Isn't that just beautiful? One, I love, I really like, they're kind of like fume or fume dials, and I love them. This is not that, but this has a similar effect, that light to dark, that kind of like vignette, and I love that about it. It has it going 2 ways, and it's beautiful. Second, it reminds me of a wide boy. Rolex Wide Boy, they're awesome. I mean, these are some of the most rare variations of Datejust and day dates, and it's not just that they're rare; it's that they're genuinely beautiful. They're distinctive. They just look different. And for me, although I have a stick Datejust, they're just top notch. So this had those 2 things. Not to mention it's by Longines. So to me, it's a top 3 brand as far as the vintage market is concerned. That doesn't hurt at all. Next, we have something that I'm not sure how to pronounce. Is it Juvenia? Juvenia? It's fucking beautiful, though. I'll tell you that. Instagram first. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to show it to you. Try that. Can you see it? And now YouTube. It's a 3-register chronograph. It reminds me a hell of a lot of Gallet, but I think it's prettier. I think the case is better executed. That's why I think it's prettier. I mean, the dial to me is comparable to a Gallet as far as design and what is good and what is bad. But to me, this case is just so slick. I think that a 3-register chronograph like this is obviously a sports watch. There's no doubt. But when it's executed so finely, right, with a steel case and with a silver dial, it really has serious dress capabilities, and I love that. I'm going to show you guys on my wrist right now. I mean, I'm wearing a white Oxford shirt and like blue trousers, and I mean, just look at the way that this watch looks. I mean, to me, it couldn't look better. I mean, you know, that's obviously, to me, I'm massively into design, so that is just super important. I wore this watch all day yesterday, and I couldn't get over it. I've heard it pronounced okay. My sister, Anna Isabella. Look, it's Anna. Everyone say hi to my sister, Anna Isabella 4. She is the best. What do we have here? Omega Seamaster Automatic. I love the green strap I put on this. This is a very, very simple watch. I put this kind of like emerald or kind of, you know, whatever. I don't know what kind of green, emerald, moss, I don't know. Green strap on this. You know, why do I love, you know, vintage Omega Seamasters? It was the first watch I ever fell in love with, or first or second watch I ever fell in love with, which to me just, you know, I don't have a special spot. Second, they're built so damn well. Third, Omega has just come into a massive renaissance. Omega is enormously popular now, and for, you know, fairly good reason. So frankly, I think that it's a stock on the rise. So once again, I'll do one of these. I think that it just looks super great. I was at dinner on Tuesday or Wednesday yesterday, I suppose, with some guys, and he was wearing a beautiful Omega Seamaster that I was like, oh shit, it's just so fucking cool. Frank Sal says hi from Mexico, Anna. Look, Anna, you have people all the way in Mexico. Anna, say hi to Miguel. Miguel and I actually spoke before. He is buying a Rolex Buckley, or could be buying a Rolex Buckley. Really, really, I mean, stunning stuff. If you guys don't know, double stamped, worth the hype. It depends. Be very, very careful with the double stamps. I will say that again. Be very, very careful with the double stamps. Double stamps demand premiums, and they're faked often. They are faked all the time. And unless you get under there with a loop, unless you really look and go really close, and you can tell that the print is not only the same texture and color as the rest of the dial, as far as the print is concerned. It's been exposed to the same, you know, elements, not newer, blah, 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 blah. They're great value. You know, do I think that you should pay triple? Depends on the watch. For something like this, this Movado is a watch. Once again, this is a Movado being listed on the shop this week. This showed to Instagram first. This Movado was a watch that I would have bought either way, double stamped or not, without a question. But considering it was stamped, I didn't even think about it, not even for a second. Does it have a premium to one that is not stamped? Yes. What could it possibly be? Maybe $150 premium. I mean, like it's not like it's this massive deal, but to me, it makes it infinitely cooler. I think that whoever buys that watch will buy it because it is Tiffany stamped, and I couldn't agree more. Would I buy this watch? Yes. I mean, would I buy this watch if it wasn't Tiffany stamped for myself, my collection? Considering on the price, depending on the price, I would. Best variable apart from the stamp, the lugs. To me, the lugs would give it an edge over an Omega. You know, because I put this in the bracket with Omegas, with vintage Omega Seamasters, with Constellations, with Longines, things like that. So depending on the price, I would pick this up, before those because of the lugs. Without the stamp, add the stamp, and we're on a totally different level. Let's go back to some questions here. Do you have any Daniel Wellingtons in stock? No. Fuck Daniel Wellington. I'm done saying it. Definitely saw you on Gary V's Facebook page. Yes, I was on Gary V's Facebook page. We met last. I don't know, like a year ago almost. We had an awesome time. What a fucking great guy. And yeah, he recorded it, and I was on his page. It was really cool. What is the top 5 rare date just? What are the top 5 rare date just? I don't know. It's not just about, the small, like Sigmas. There are Sigmas. There are wide boys. There are Buckleys, obviously. There are, obviously there's Pi Pan on the 1601s. There are a lot of different rare. There are colors. I mean, like taupe is rare. Salmon is very rare. There are rare colors out there. My blue dial is incredibly rare. So, it's very hard. You can't find them consistently, no matter how much money. Like someone offered me $5,000 2 months ago to find a matching date just to mine. I said, one, if I found it, I wouldn't charge $5,000. It's not worth that. Maybe it's worth a $300 premium on what a regular date just would go for. Maybe $400 if it's a little bit high. So I would not do that. Second, I can't. If you gave me $40,000, it doesn't change the fact that there aren't any out there. But I'm going to fly to Miami and I'm going to fly to Texas and I'm going to fly looking for your watch. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It's just not practical. Thoughts on the new Hublot Italian fabric special edition watches? It makes me sad. I am a huge Luca Rubinacci fan. Luca has been really, first of all, he's got amazing stuff. Luca Rubinacci has a store in Milan, I think, for custom clothing. I think they have ready to wear, but custom, men's clothing. Serious shit. Suits. I mean, like some of the finest stuff on Instagram is at Rubinacci. He's also become quite famous. He's very nice. I've talked to him over Instagram several times, and he's very fucking nice. But I think that the watches are bullshit. Totally. Total bullshit. I think it was Rubinacci, Lapo Elkan, which is the grandson of Gianni Agnelli, the guy who wore his Patek like this, which is kind of cool, and Hublot. And I think it didn't make any sense. Why? Because you don't just throw patterns on watches and say that they are now embody that style. That is the opposite of that style. A gentleman with a houndstooth jacket on would never wear your fucking houndstooth watch, or a gentleman with houndstooth jackets in his closet wearing a blue jacket right now would not throw houndstooth on his wrist. What he would do, trying to get the words out, he would wear his watch, let's say a vintage Patek, or whether it's a vintage Rolex or a Hamilton or a Movado, whatever it might be. What I thought would be really cool on maybe just a very, very nice, not tweed or not bad material, very nice cloth, somewhat cloth strap. I'm not sure what it would be, but some sort of, obviously design in the houndstooth or in the pinstripes or whatever, very formal kind of attire, but something a little bit more, wearable. And that would make sense. I could see that. I could see a white Oxford shirt with a blue sport coat, and maybe maybe like I don't know, like I said, a houndstooth, kind of like a silk something, not like a single pass NATO on that watch, not a fully fucking banged out, Hublot with Harris tweed or with houndstooth. It doesn't make any sense. I think it was a very stupid move, and it's sad. I look at that room genuinely concerned about your safety. Are you okay? Wink twice. You need to make a call. Have you ever experienced stingray straps? No, I have not. What are your thoughts on squale? Who are you going to call? What's going on? Have you ever seen a Resence diver in person, like on Dicky Instagram today? What is that oil stuff? And no, it ain't vintage. Yes, I have seen Resence in person. Recently, actually. They're beautiful, beautiful watches. I am a huge Resence fan. I'm an enormous fucking Resence fan. I would buy one in a second. Someone said on Hodinkee, not Hodinkee, because it was someone else, said if Apple made a watch, it would be Resence. Not if Apple made an Apple Watch, but if Apple made a real mechanical watch, it'd be a Resence, which makes perfect sense. I love Resence. I think that they represent incredible value. They are one of the few people in the mainstream but still independent world that are reinventing the way watches are thought about. I don't think that their technology will be, adapted by many people. I'm sure it's very expensive, and they are the founders. So I don't think that anyone's going to be able to adapt that technology at the $3,000, $4,000 range. But very cool stuff. Definitely eggnog. Oops, sorry guys. Who makes the straps you sell in Teenage? I'm buying one of those buttercup straps for my Rolex. Yes, a guy named Mitch, down in Baton Rouge. Amazing stuff. English bridal leather. Very nice. Rosie, I am. What are your thoughts on the new Hublot? Can you showcase prices in your archives? Would be nice to know. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. People don't do that. It's not common practice, and I, for some reason, have fallen into this. It's not common practice, so we don't do it thing. There are a couple reasons I don't do it, but nothing that's really too compelling. We just haven't addressed that since people started bringing it up. But if you email us at any time what you should save or what you think something's worth, email me. I'll tell you at any time. I'll tell you at any time. Type 3 is out of this world. Yep. Who is Shame on Wrist? I have no idea. I wish I knew. He's funny as shit, though. I like him a lot. I don't think he would like me. I think that we would get along fine in person, but I feel like I'm an easy target. That he could bust chops. Which is cool. I mean, I respect that. So we haven't spoken. But I think he's fucking hysterical. I really do. I think he's awesome. But shame on wrist. What's your favorite watch store in NYC? Wempy. Wempy's great. Not for prices or anything like that. Wempy's great because their service is impeccable. And to me, that's very, very important. Impeccable service when you're spending 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17, 18, 19, 20, 34, 48, $148,000 is very fucking important. If I'm paying you a premium, it's not just for the watch. It's for the whole experience. Actual question, favorite sub. I don't know favorite sub right now. I'm of course like a mil sub, Jesus Christ. But my favorite sub that I've been thinking about recently is 1680. 1680, whatever that is, the later, but the transitional model, or the early one with the matte dials. Those are really pretty. I think they represent really good value. But favorite sub, I don't know. Solid gold? No, I wouldn't do that. They're cool, but I wouldn't do one. What else we got here? Asked a great question. Polio P asked a great question. Where is Polio? What do you think of these Thunderbird chronograph? A lot of them fake bezels. Yes, someone emailed me with a fake bezel chronograph the other day, and I wasn't sure at the time whether it was fake or not. I couldn't tell, but no, that shit is fake. Like, yeah, there are a lot of them out there. They're turning standard datejests into chronographs, and sometimes they're even blanking out the references and lasering in whatever the references were. So that's fucked up. I think that's really bad. I wouldn't buy one. To me, they're interesting watches, but they will be worthy if they were cheaper. But they demand a premium, and to me, they're just not worth that premium. That's just to me, though. Are there any micro brands that have recently impressed you with their original design and build quality? There might be. I'm sure if you showed me a bunch of them, some of them would impress me. I'm not like a snob, but no. I mean, just the top of my head, no, I have no idea. Kyle, man, do I jerk it to watches? No, I do not jerk it to watches. I'm turning 16 soon, and I have been looking for a vintage dress watch like Longines and Omega. What do you recommend? I recommend both, depending on what style, little things, little touches that you enjoy. Both brands do what they do and do it very well, but they're both different. They don't copy each other really. They're unique watches. So to me, it's all about what you prefer. Since you mentioned you do not fly to find watches, no, I mean, I would, if someone said, hey, go pick up a Paul Newman, here's 20 grand, in commission, or $10,000 in 50, I don't know, whatever the number would be, and I had to fly to Rome, yeah, I would take a couple people to Rome with me for fucking sure. But no, I'm not, I'm not going to charge someone $5,000 for a day just that's worth $3,200 so I can fly to Texas. It's just ridiculous. I feel bad. But I guess I'm not answering that truthfully, because when the situation arises, you just don't know what you would do. You just don't know. So quick thoughts on Panerai. You don't talk about them at all. Yeah, I know. I don't know why. I like Panerai. I like a lot of Panerais. I like the California dial. It's a really cool watch. It's big. It's big as shit, but it's a cool watch. There are a lot of great Panerais out there, but I just haven't talked about them because I don't know. I haven't talked about Seiko. I don't talk about Seiko or Panerai. So sorry. I'll get there though. I definitely will. Will you do a teenage episode on pull routers? Yes, for sure. For sure I will. They're great. They're great watches. I really should. GMT, Coke or Pepsi? Pepsi all day, every day, for sure. I love GMT Pepsis. I like them with faded bezels too. Really nice. Really nice shit. What else we got? What else do I want to talk about? I actually had Resence here I wanted to talk about, which is really funny. Resence, they're just great. And they're actually from Belgium. Who knew, right? I had no idea. What's with the ghetto room when you have a business and nice watches? This isn't my room. This isn't my room. But thoughts on iced out watches? It depends on the watch. I would buy an iced out cocktail watch by Cartier. That'd be really cool to wear twice a year to the opera or something. But let's see. Resence. I love those things. How about Hermes? Let's talk about Hermes for a second. They're interesting. I wanna hate them a lot, and I don't love them, but I want to hate them, and I don't. So that means a lot. That means a lot that I don't hate them. Their straps are amazing. Their designs are fairly good sometimes, and their straps are incredible, but overpriced. Those are my thoughts. And if you can choose, from there. If you have a passion for them, that's great. I think that their recent releases, because of color and strap options, are very cool. But it's a lot of money. It's $4,000. It's a lot. I wouldn't do it, but it's very cool. Give us a tour of your room. This isn't my room. I'm sorry, Rosie. 526. I'm sorry. Thoughts on the North Flag, considering a purchase? I love the North Flag. I think the North Flag is one of the coolest Tudors out there. I would endorse the purchase totally. Get one for on the cheap though, for sure. Have you ever had an awesome or awkward experience meeting another person wearing a watch you had to comment on in public? Yes, I was at where was I? I was downtown. I was at a restaurant. I don't know, Babo. No, it wasn't Babo. It might have been Babo. It was Babo. I was downtown at Babo, a restaurant in Manhattan, and this guy was wearing a Longo 1 at the bar. And I wasn't like, hey, I'm Theo and Harris. I was just sitting there drinking a drink, and I said, cool Longa, like, nice. And he's like texting. And what? I was like, cool watch. I like your Longa. It's cool. And he goes, oh, my wife gave it to me. I don't know. And I was like, come on, man. You're a dick, At what point do you just become so desensitized by things? I mean, it's just fucked up. I don't know. I feel like no matter what anyone gives you, if it's your fucking wife and she gives you whatever the fuck, you should learn a little something about it, especially if you knew that it costs $35,000 fucking dollars. So I kind of thought he was a dick, but it is what it is. Go to Material Good in Soho, coolest shop ever. Yeah, I've heard that it's a cool shop. Yeah. Sorry for the super Rolex questions, but black GMT or sub, depends on your style. I would go black GMT, but depends on your style, totally. But I would go 1675. Those are awesome. Thoughts on the Mont Blanc new direction of their whole watches? I have to look more into them. I've given my thoughts on Mont Blanc before. Some have been positive, some have been very not positive. So it really, really depends on what's going on. With the brand in the next year or two. I'm not going to react. I will react on new releases. I'm not going to change my opinion on the brand until I see serious consistency in their changes. One change doesn't change my idea on their whole brand and kind of my conception. What do you say when someone shows you their fashion watch? It's always awkward. Oh, Cease, I have something for you. Hold on. I know you were looking at Tudor chronographs, and I didn't really give you an answer because I didn't have one, but I did some research, and I actually bought a Tudor chronograph with full 1-year warranty. Well, it's expired. This watch is not new. Tudor pamphlet, box, beautiful, original, everything, very nice, and a stunning chronograph. I mean, how beautiful is this watch? Just for you guys on YouTube that don't understand what's going on right now, one of my fans, one of my buddies from Instagram, Watch Geek up in Canada, contacted me about a Tudor chronograph just recently. Something like a 16, like a 6263. I'm sorry, I have dyslexia, so Rolex references really fuck me up sometimes. Rolex 6263 look a lot like this. And I thought this was really, really interesting when I saw it, so I bought it immediately, and that's it. I bought it, it was fully serviced when I bought it. I would have my watchmaker check it out, but I bought it from my watchmaker. So hey, all is good, right? So this is awesome, man. Let's check it out and take a look. Isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful. HBC Hanks, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I can't. I literally couldn't thank you guys enough. I think that if people who email me, and believe me, if you have emailed me recently, I haven't gotten back to you, I promise I'm working on it. We get so flooded, and it is a lot. And maybe, I'll get better. I will get better, and I will work every day to get better. But right now, I'm doing my best. So it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, check it out, Cece. If you want to see some photos of it, this is a really exceptional example. Even the bevels are still on the case. That's actually kind of one of the biggest reasons I bought it, and an extra link too. So I thought that was just super cool. Bevels are an interesting thing. I'm gonna talk about this for a second, and then I'm gonna leave you guys soon. Bevels are one of the most amazing things Rolex have just ever done, and I don't know why. I don't know why they're so beautiful, but holy shit, they are. And when I see a Rolex sports watch or a Tudor sports watch, yes. Oh, yeah. Am I interrupting anything? Yes, you are. I'm in a live feed.
I'm so sorry.
What's up? You need something?
This is a customer coming in.
Yeah. It's like, oh, look at the client. Look, here we go. Look at what do we have?
What do you? After I got done doing a let's just say fun drinking activity.
Yeah.
I threw my hands up in the air and.
Oh, your link came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost. Well, the thing is,
you lost links.
Lost links.
I need to order links for you. Leave this here. I'll have it back for you. And
can you tell me how much it'll cost?
It's not a lot. I'll let you know.
Okay. I might actually find. I'm going.
You have to give me a week or a week and a half.
I'm going home to get something else. So I'm gonna look for the extra links for that.
Cool.
If that helps anything.
Did you sign a lease yet? You're leaving, right? You're like the only guy leaving. What the fuck is that?
What are you talking about? Luke's leaving?
What are you talking about? I'm live right now. I'm doing a live feed. No, I'm doing a live feed. I'm working. I have to stay here.
Okay.
Talk later. Bye bye.
Luke and Anna are leaving.
Anna's leaving. Yeah. I don't know. Go talk to everyone else. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my God, that was live in the middle of. Okay, this is an Invicta that I have to fix. So that is too funny. That was real. That was not planned. That was not planned at all. That was not planned. But now I have to find links for an Oyster Invicta bracelet. So anyway, what's going on? This teenage is live, people. No, it's fucking live. Bevels for life. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about bevels before. I was so rudely interrupted by my good friend Anthony. Bevels. I hate when I see, Rolexes, Submariners, everything like that are so polished, they're ruined. It really is so sad. And I don't know. It's the first thing I look for. Before I even look at a dial, I swear to God, I look for bevels in a sports watch. I really do. And I would take bevels over a dial. I really would. I want an original dial, but if the dial's beaten up, I want those bevels. To me, it is so fucking cool to see this raw, original, beaten watch. And if the dial's shitty, then more fucking fun, because it was that. That's funny. 1 hour watch. My buddy Lee just commented sad, and that just reminds me of like Donald Trump's tweets. Like, it's so funny. The failing New York Times is so sad. It's hysterical. Pizza. I don't have pizza. Why is everyone else talking about pizza? Friends don't let friends. At least we just buy another. How do you feel about Invicta's? I think Christian's line on the third is not being in his room. No, it is not my room. It is not my room. This is. I'll show you guys. 1 second, YouTube. We'll be right back. These are not my photos. That is not mine. That is neither. This is not me. So I'm just here. I'm just here. So yeah, none of this shit is me. These are not my parents. These are not my parents on the desk. But back to what we're talking about. How do I feel about Invictas? People think that Invicta is the worst thing in the world. It's not. People are annoying. Stop being so nasty. Invicta has made some atrocities. They have made some ugly fucking watches. Really, really ugly stuff. But at the end of the day, do I know any good vintage watch shops in Rome? Yes, Watches in Rome, great store. At the end of the day, these are watches that are built fine, that have movements that are easily serviceable, and these to me are perfect watches for people that would otherwise be really wearing a piece of fucking shit, which is so often what happens. I would recommend an Invicta to many people. Of course, you buy at a severe discount, but it is what it is. Is it something that I'm gonna advocate for? No, of course not. But it is what it is. Vintage Seamaster. Christian, do you know any good watch shops in Rome? Yes, back to the watch shops in Rome. Yes, absolutely. Watches in Rome. I think it's the De Simone brothers. These are some top fucking notch Rolex guys. I mean, of course, you're not going to be able to buy anything there unless you do make a couple $1 million a year, which more respect if you do that, and that's wonderful, good for you. But unless you are willing to spend 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, $1 million dollars on a fucking watch, then you are not going to be able to buy from them because they're not expensive. Like I don't know if they're overpriced. I don't know that, but they deal in serious shit, like some very serious stuff. So for me, I'm just not a client. So that's it. All right, JLC Vintage. What is the silver bangle you always wear? Yes, I'm going to tell you guys about the silver bangle, and then I'm going to log off as TNH. So here we go. This was my grandmother's. My grandmother passed away 6 years ago, and I have not taken it off since. This bracelet, although definitely made for a girl, is a little feminine. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I don't think that I look like a total, girl wearing it. But I really will never take this bracelet off. This bracelet means as much to me as any watch that I could ever own, and that is a fact. Yeah. I'm not going to play like, would I do this or would I do that? But yeah, it means a lot to me, and I'll never take it off. And I think that it complements, my watches pretty well, right? So that's it, guys. I have to sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching Ask TNH Live on this Thursday. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for Liquor Run, Monday for Rant TNH. It's a collection review. Tuesday is In the Metal, an amazing episode, which isn't done yet, but it's an amazing episode. Wednesday is another Ask TNH where I do an interview. Thursday is this again. So Thursday at 7, same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you guys so much for watching Ask TNH Live, and I will talk to you tonight probably. I'm sure I'll be in touch. Bye-bye, guys.